Fabric Decorator is designed to work with any type of object. Now in this example, I'm going to use this animated dress and I'm going to show you my export setting from Marvelous. Now the first thing you want to do, regardless of what it is made of, is make sure you have correct UVs, so basically 0 to 1 UVs in a perfect tile. Now we want to export as Alembic since this is an animation, and we want to make sure it is unwelled, thin, and we want to make sure we have unified UV coordinates to get our UVs, and we want to make sure it is meters because the default scale of Blender is set to meters. Now we'll head over to Blender and we'll import our Alembic inside Blender. And as you can see, the animation works perfectly and we have our UVs, but there are a few things we want to make sure of first. First, we'll head over to modifiers and we'll uncheck faces, UVs, color and attributes. We want vertex and vertex interpolation, and I'll prefer to rename my UVs to UV map since it's the default set inside of Fabric Decorator. Then we'll append a collection inside of Fabric Decorator. We'll locate it, collection and Fabric Decorator, and it's going to import everything that is needed. I'll uncheck decoration since we don't need it. And inside Fabric Decorator, the first method you see is the direct method. You simply select any type of object, you'll go to the edit mode, draw mode on surface, and you can draw on any type of object, just simple as that. That is in case you don't have any animation or morphs. Here you can see I'm going to use it on the Susan monkey and it's going to work perfectly. But again, it doesn't work with animations or morphs, which in this case we do have animations. The next transfer method is called still. So the first thing we want to do is create a linked duplicate of our initial object or our proxy object that has the animation, and we are going to remove the animation from it by simply removing the mesh sequence modifier. And I'm also going to disable it in the viewport and the render view. And just as simple as that, we have our still object, and if we draw anything on it, it will follow our animation and it will work perfectly. Now this next method is called UV plus still, which uses our UVs or our still object to transfer our patterns. For this one, we'll create another linked duplicate and we'll also remove the animations, and we'll use the geometry nodes generate object from UVs. As you can see, there is an option called fix closed meshes, which in a watertight case of the monkey, Susan monkey, if we use fixed closed meshes, it's going to give us proper UVs without any problems. And we have some simple translate and rotations to make sure it is where we want it to be. Now we can actually split our viewport, and we can have one viewport show the 3D object while the other shows the 2D object. Here we'll just simply select our dress.uv. As simple as that. Now we can head over to edit mode and draw on our UVs. As you can see, it will be previewed on both sides in real time, and we can also draw on the still object as well. It may cause some bridges, which we can simply remove by heading over to the UV preview menu and remove bridges. It's also worth mentioning that this preview on UVs will be automatically disabled in the render view, but if you want to improve the performance of your viewport, you could also disable it globally instead of individually. So you can just head over to geometry nodes and do that. Now say you want to solidify your object. First we'll create another linked duplicate and we'll call our initial object proxy, which is the object that the pattern is being transferred to, and the second object will be simply dress. And we'll solidify this one. This one is not being sampled in the Fabric Decorator, and we can do anything we want on it. It's also worth mentioning that the level of detail or the level of vertices needs to be consistent on proxy, still, and UV. They have to be having the same amount of subdivisions, same amount of geometry. If you are masking, you want to mask it across all the objects, all the UVs, still, and proxy. If you are doing subdivisions, you still want to do it exactly the same on UVs, still, and proxy. And as simple as that, everything is prepared. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.